called you last night. You didn't recognize my voice. I sit there lonely. I wondered who you thought I was. We could have built that house in Maine, put palm trees in chaos, called your name.
Alright, what's up everyone? All four of you, we ready for some UGA baseball? Of course, because it's a ESPN game, we're scheduled for a 12 p.m. start right at noon, and we're not going to get going until 12:10 because ESPN's sick. But here we are. We're in here. Alright, let's get this going. Whoa, that's harsh lighting. Let's see if we can fix that. That's too dark a lighting now. You can see kind of got the red glow going. Hold on. We're in the new setup here. Last time I streamed, I was in Athens, Georgia. We have since graduated. Whoop, whoop. There, that's not too bad at light. Let me see if I can clip this onto something. I don't know. Alright, but we are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in so far. We've got a good game. We got the Bulldogs and the Wolfpack. As you can see, we're going to try and keep track on our own scoreboard. I can't show, unfortunately, can't show any of the game, so we're just going to have to keep on the scoreboard. I'm gonna try and pump some of the play-by-play audio in just a little bit when the game starts going, so that way, you know, you can at least hear some of the play-by-play audio. But if you're in the chat, you want to comment any questions, or we can start a conversation right now. We're in an ad, so like I said, ESPN probably won't get started until 12:10. But I'm running the scoreboard from here, so should just pretty much be a copy and paste of the stream scoreboard, even though I'm running it. And then we got on the side scores around the league, although next game that starts is 2:30, but at least you can see the schedule. And I think once the game gets going, I can pop up like a pitch tracker right there. We'll see how that goes, but that's the plan. We'll see how it happens. All right, ESPN's back. They're behind Foley Field. Somehow my neighbor is already bumping music. This is crazy. Well, thank you everyone for watching so far. We're just about ready to start game, it looks like. Doesn't even look like Foley Field is filled out, really. I mean, already on the broadcast, you can kind of see a lot of open seats, which is certainly not what the Bulldogs were hoping for. They're coming up with some notes. So it's Dominic Fritton on the mound for the Wolfpack. He's not a great starter. Pitches to contact. Not really a strikeout candidate. His problem is walks. Not really, but he can lose control. He pitches the contact. If he lets up hard contact, it's going to be bad for him. And today kind of would show hard contact just from the weather and stuff. As for the UGA starting lineup, it has changed. Logan Jordan's getting his first start since against Kennesaw State. I got to see a little bit of him. It was pretty obvious the fans didn't want Charlie Goldstein in and have been not liking how he's played, as Corey Collins will lead it off. And after 2 pitches, 1 ball, 1 strike to the Suwanee, Georgia native out of North Gwinnett High School. I only really know that because I went to North Gwinnett High School, so getting him on base with his high on-base percentage would be important, although he takes strike 2 already. Fritton's got that big looping off speed that kind of just falls off the table into the zone. I really don't think that should be a problem for the Dogs, but locate it well, any pitch can be a problem. I think the Dogs have enough experience to pounce on that. Ooh, right on the outside corner, Corey Collins goes looking. Strike 3 for the first out. And he has that good eye. He's going to have a word with the umpire. Nothing bad. But that one's close. And that's the first out. Let me see if I can... Hold on. Alright, hold on. We might be able to do this. At least get a strike zone up. I'm going to work on that real quick. Oh, that looks beautiful. We'll just do that. There you go. That doesn't look half bad, does it? So because there's no other games on today, we'll just run that. Or, until 2:30. 1 ball, 1 strike. You might see ESPN get a little bit ahead. Charlie Condon ropes one through the left side. 1 hopper before the grass will reach left field. He's on with a single. There you can see. Just through the left side. Good job to get that outside pitch. Just stay on it. Not roll over. That one's easy to roll your hands over and just give to the third baseman. Slade Alford, Georgia's going to need a lot from today. There we go. That's not too bad a light. Georgia's going to need a lot from him today. Basically, the whole offense didn't show up. Here you go. He lifts a pitch. The weather here is going to help. And that ball is out of here. That's a 2-run shot. Probably doesn't get out yesterday. But the Bulldogs off to a fast start. As that one will get out. And with only 1 out on the board, Slade Alford, that goes 400 feet. 100 exit velocity, just over 101 miles per hour. High launch angle. And they got out of here. Good start for the Bulldogs, but interesting that ball left the park, to be honest. And they're already talking about Classic City and Tropicalia and such. Alright. Well, 2-0. That's already a much better start, obviously, than yesterday. As Alford just went to the bottom of the zone, that wasn't that big looping off speed. However, he was able to stay on it as this count quickly goes to 0-2 after that foul ball. But that's got to be good for Georgia to see one get out, especially after, a lack of power yesterday. And you get your pitcher a little more settled in with the run lead. The problem is, for NC State, whose bullpen is pretty much fully intact, they can just do whatever they want today. That's a swing and a miss. So, on the verge of striking out the side is the Wolfpack. However, a 2-run shot placed in between. We'll see if we get to striking out the side. But that's a good way for NC State to recover. You kind of wanted to see what, of course, no matter what NC State did yesterday for the Bulldogs and just, take advantage of a couple things coming across and just building on it. However, good recovery from Fritton. As a big swing and a miss here. As Phelps tried to very much get that over the wall in left field. It's a huge cut. And y'all, if you're watching and you want to talk in the chat, you have any questions or anything you just want to talk about in, a relatively friendly environment, you can make something happen as the count goes 2-1. Phelps is going to be such a good player for the Dogs. I mean, the freshman, Charlie Condon's leaving, but Phelps is the guy I look at to step up and play that role for the Bulldogs for a couple years. It's not even just 1 year or 2 years. It's going to be a couple years here. It's funny because the ESPN app is ahead of YouTube TV. So right now I just watched the foul ball that came in on the pitch tracker like good 5-6 seconds ago. Let's see if we can get this lined up any better. Phelps ground ball to third base. Easy hop. The throw over in time. Phelps perhaps a little bit more hustle could have gotten there, but good stretch over at first. Ends the inning. However, good start. You don't expect a 20-run output combined from both of these teams like we saw yesterday. So, not a bad start if you're the Dogs, as we'll head into the bottom of the first here. See the Wolfpack offense for the first time since putting up that ridiculous total yesterday. Well, mute the commercials again. I don't know if anyone wants to let me know if you can actually hear the play-by-play from ESPN. Will says, what are the odds in Omaha? Will is driving, so the devotion to ask a question. The Bulldogs' odds in Omaha, I feel like they were pretty high to even win it, because they release odds as soon as group stage is done. Oh, of course, ESPN wants to be weird over here. They release odds pretty much as soon as the group stage is done, and I feel like the odds were insanely in Georgia's favor. Like, they were top 3 or top 4. That's definitely something we can look at. I would have had them before this series as probably in that 4 or 5 spot, plus whatever 4 or 5 spot that is, plus 700 to plus 1,250, whatever it may be. But now, of course, if they win, that reduces, so you probably put them in the 3. You just can't put them over Tennessee if Tennessee gets in, which they should. And some of the teams that are already in, I wouldn't put them over. So it's interesting, but I think everything is also affected by just how badly they lost yesterday. Like, Vegas will have to come out and recognize that they just had a horrible outing, and see how much that plays into their odds. I'm looking it up right now. So this is, of course, ahead of the Super Regionals, but I felt like Georgia was pretty high up. Yeah, they were above Florida, above NC State, and then it was Georgia and Virginia and Florida State. Oregon State were all essentially tied in odds. So you could see they were right on that 4-5 spot of the teams remaining. I would probably put them above Virginia, who's, of course, already qualified. I don't like Kentucky, so I would put them above Kentucky. I'd put them above Clemson. What will actually happen? I don't know. We got to get there first. As the game has resumed, as the first pitch from the Bulldogs side fouled off, as Finley gets the start today. The hefty righty, 6'5". I think 1, 2, 3 first inning is what the Dogs are looking for here, of course. I don't think the Dogs pitched too horribly yesterday either. It was just a lot of bad, basically everything. Bad luck, bad fielding. This is a high pop-up, and with the wind, it'll drive out to the warning track, but it's brought in, maybe just a step shy. As you can see, the track, it has it a couple steps shy. It was certainly closer than that. However, a high fly, even in this weather, does not result in a home run. Have to hit it just a bit harder than that, and that is the first out. But that's kind of what I was talking about like yesterday, is Georgia induced a lot of weak contact. It seemingly just found holes, so you hope that kind of shores up. Now, I would say, like, people are like, oh, the contact was so weak, you know, Georgia's going to bounce back, and then point out, like, bunt hits. It's like, well, a bunt hit, yeah, I know we have turned so much into exit velocity, but, like, a bunt hit is a good attempt at a hit, even if it is low velocity. It's just, that's the purpose of it. So I hate when people sometimes are like, oh, that was, you know, he didn't get hit hard, he was just unlucky. Well, like, a bunt hit is a hit at the end of the day. Like, that is, like, you can't just say, oh, he didn't get hit hard, so he was okay. No, a bunt is still a hit. Here, this pitch track has it just above the zone. We'll see where it comes in. Yeah, ESPN pitch tracks might need some work, because that was eye level. So, certainly more than just right above the zone. Popped up to the right side in foul territory. New first baseman over there, getting his first start in a while, brings it in over the shoulder. Hard play. Usually you see Corey Collins in that spot, but Logan getting the start today, able to bring it in. Good play by him. It didn't look pretty, I'll tell you that. It did not look like he was tracking that ball well. And not exactly how you want to bring it in. And you can even see the coaches laughing in the back. Kind of think they're laughing about that attempt to bring it in. And it works, but not how you draw it up. Good off speed here, but bounces in at the last second for ball one. Makarevich is an interesting guy because, you know, he has this 1,200 OPS and almost 400 batting average, but he is substantially older than most college players. At least not older, but he has more games played than almost any college players. I believe he might be at that number one spot now. And is Finley drawing a lot of contact? I don't think he has a swing and a miss yet, which is not too unusual. Pitchers can take a couple innings to get one, but I think all contact has been made. Here we might see one. Strike swinging. It was a check swing, so we'll call it. Home plate umpire calls it, which, interesting. Definitely thought that one could have been held up on the back end. I thought that was at least due for an appeal down, not a call at home. As they say capacity crowd, but I'm seeing plenty of seats. Here, that is a swing and a miss on that curveball in the dirt. Excellent placement, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for the Georgia defense in Findlay. As we'll see Logan Jordan, Carter, and Fernando Gonzalez come up in the top of the second. That is exactly how the Dogs wanted to start. As we will get everything going here. Great start from the Bulldogs as they look to push for a Game 3.
For the military community and their families.
Alright, so we're back in commercials. And as you can see, we're getting game highlights now. I don't know if I'm allowed to show this or not during a live stream. I know I'm not allowed to stream the game live because I will get copyright strike. But my videos all have copyright content. It's just because I'm not, you know, I don't have enough. I'm not getting paid for any of my content is the reason, like, that doesn't really affect my channel. Now, will a replay Or will it highlight, copyright strike my channel? If anyone knows, please let me know. If it does not, we'll play the video. So that might bias your opinion, but we'll see how it goes. And then let's go ahead and, while we got time, look at the slate for today. Of course, we got UGA and NC State. That's what we're watching right now. Clemson, Florida. Clemson needs to battle back in that one. That's kind of why I have Clemson on the downside. Is Florida was kind of in the driver's seat all yesterday's game. I know it was much closer than some of the other games, including UGA, NC State, but dominant win from Florida. Evansville, of course, probably America's team right now. Evansville, the 4 seed, might have to get a jersey as they're looking to knock off the top-ranked Tennessee. Texas A&M and Oregon, that's always going to be fun. And UK, Oregon State, Kentucky, Oregon State should be fun as well. As we are back to game action, strike looking right at the top of the zone. As, of course, mentioned, Logan Jordan getting his real first looks in a long, long while. Of course, as a starter, he'll chop one to third. Good fielding there, and this throw a little bit better than the one that ended the top of the first, and that is an out. Good plays by the hot corner so far, although that one came bouncing in with the well-maintained infield just about shoulder high. Maybe. Double down the line. That one just held the line. Turning for second is Carter. We'll see if he turns on the Jets to go to third. He'll stay in second, standing up. Carter didn't round first too hard. Otherwise, if he had been flying, he might have had a chance at third. Good swing as he just chops this one down. Bat stays a little high in the zone, but it just holds the line. And this one would trickle all the way into the corner near the bullpen. However, doesn't really get jammed up in there. Good play by the right fielder to play that off the wall. And now with one out, a runner at second, and potentially some more damage coming in from the Dogs as Gonzalez sees strike one right down the middle. An off-speed changeup that I'm sure if that was one pitch later, that one ends up in Kudzu Hill. That one, dangerous pitch, as that one just floated in the middle of the zone. As this one's bounced in there. And at some point, this has to start affecting mentally NC State, you would say. If you can keep tacking on runs, you know, after a big win yesterday, checking at second, eventually coming home, chopped. Hard play, but slow to the second baseman. Gonzalez, not the fastest runner, easy out at first. Does move the runner over as Carter gets to third. However, of course, with one out already being on the board, that makes 2 outs. And that will likely not matter. Of course, Carter would likely score from second on any meaningful hit. So just moving up to third with 2 outs, not a huge deal. Although it gets Colby Branch up, who of course was a major hero in the group stage. So we'll see if he can do any damage. I want to thank you all for tuning in as we do this watch along. If you want to have any conversations, please leave questions or whatever you want to talk about in the chat. Otherwise, hopefully together we'll watch Georgia win. Huge fly, that one in on the hands, and he can't just muscle it out. A leaping grab in left field. That one might deserve a highlight, as that one wasn't hit too hard as it came in on the hands, but the left fielder just all turned around, and yet the Wolfpack able to bring it in for the third out. Whew, that ball is so hard to hit that well, and Branch did it, and yet no success, as that one likely should have been an RBI double. Instead, we'll head to the bottom of the second. I can't believe the announcers were not more flabbergasted by what just happened. I get it, but that was really an insane grab. And an insane job to even get barrel to that. Oh, alright. Volume unmuted for this stupid commercial that I hate. It's like a Love Island commercial. We'll see if we get a replay on that. Or a highlight. Will said First Amendment law in the chat is on our side. So if not, we have connections at UGA for a First Amendment lawyer. So we can make it work. Oh, I left the volume on. Oops. You guys get to hear ads. Fun times. Alright. So, likely should be 3-0 Georgia. What a grab in left field. Very good play. As it looks like Jacob Cozart will lead us off. Of course, after a 1-2-3 first, we get 4-5-6 in Butterworth and Sosa after Cozart. And Cozart, of course, had the 2-home run day yesterday. So, dangerous guy to start out with. He bats cleanup for a reason. Here, you at least get to face him with no runners on. Ball 1 to start the count. And you can already tell Finley being very careful as that one goes in for ball 2. Number 4 catcher prospect, according to ESPN. Number 44 overall prospect. Catcher valued more highly than most positions in the draft, however. That one not indicating that too much as the count goes 3-0, and you can tell Finley would rather walk him than let him get another home run, as that will be a 4-pitch walk. Didn't want to give him anything to hit. The last pitch the most competitive, but just a bit upstairs, and that is a leadoff walk. And there's not many guys you're okay with that. You know, you don't ever want to start the inning giving up a leadoff hit or a leadoff walk, but of all the guys in the Wolfpack lineup, I think Cozart is the man to give a leadoff walk to. So, Branch discussing with his pairing up the middle of how they want to hold the second base bag if they need to on a throwdown. First pitch to Butterworth, fouled straight back into the netting as some fans panic. Brandon Butterworth is just such a good name. What a name he has. As ball 1 comes in, makes a count 1-1. Good stop from the backstop. I'm just seeing the ball as, of course, ESPN, the tracker, the pitch tracker and stats are a little bit ahead of the YouTube TV stream because YouTube TV known to be a bit behind. It's a good stop. Let's not let that go to the backstop and allow free 90 feet to Cozart. This one, hard liner. Condon gives up on it, just lets it through the hole. They'll go station to station and have runners on first and second. Interesting. I thought Condon, that one came off the bat hard. Condon, that's his ball if he wants it. They don't really show his angle, so maybe he was playing down the line and I just couldn't see. Branch was playing in the typical shortstop hole. I just really thought that would be Condon's ball. But it did come off the bat hard, and perhaps he was holding more of the line than we're typically used to seeing. As now, the Wolfpack starting to threaten. Big swing and a miss. As that slider from Finley, pretty deadly, as that one just dipped out of the zone. Finley certainly looking for a ground ball here, so we'll see if he keeps attacking the bottom of the zone, as Georgia's bullpen is working. This one way upstairs, so changing the eye level. Looks like Brian Zeldin in the bullpen. He's warming up, so of course in an elimination game, Georgia will be fast on the hook to their pitchers. Another slider bottom of the zone. That pitch is so nasty. Again, Alex Sosa, the batter for the Wolfpack, just a couple inches above the ball, really nowhere near making contact. And I don't blame him. That pitch is nasty, nasty. As Zeldin, of course, the right-hander, so another right-hander warming up. So they're not looking for any matchup. Just if Finley starts to struggle, they want to be able to go to the bullpen. This time, that was the same slider at the bottom of the zone. This time, Sosa able to hold off on it. Big pitch here. 2-2 count. He's likely swinging at anything. This one popped up. It's a short fly, so no advance as it's taken by Carter. They will try and advance. The throw to third, well in time. The swim move, poor, in a dumb decision. There's no other word for it. A idiotic decision from the Wolfpack. Wow. Carter was maybe 15 feet from the infield dirt. Not 15, 15 strides. He could easily get in there. The throw beat the runner by at least 3 seconds. The swim move almost saves him, but wow. And that's how the Wolfpack pretty much just immediately kill their chances at getting a lead. Instead of 1 out and still 2 runners on, 2 outs and just a runner on first. That was insane as that slider again. That one not as well placed, but works the same for strike one. I don't know what Cozart was thinking, or maybe the third base coach. You never want to blame the player called for it, but wow, not a smart play. Here, this one belt high, fouling off, is the first time we've really seen a true fastball from Finley this inning find the zone. Gets a foul and a strike. It's a good day for sports as golf's wrapping up. There's some other things happening too. Of course, USA played yesterday, the men's national team. This is swinging a foul ball. I'm a decently large soccer fan, and oh my God, were the U.S. men's national team horrible yesterday? Horrible. Losing 5-1 to Colombia. Here, let's get back to the Dogs. 0-2 count, looking to get out of traffic, and Finley go more innings. He's only at 27 pitches as that one misses way outside. That was his 27th. So despite the traffic, could go very well through 2 innings with less than 30 pitches, and then you're able to sit down Zeldin and hope Finley can go 6-7 and give your team a chance to have a full bullpen for Game 3. That's way looking ahead as this one's outside yet again. But that's certainly got to be in the back of Wes Johnson's mind. If Finley can do that, Game 3 kind of tilted in your advantage. The 2-2, upstairs, runner goes to second. Good throw, the tag, back foot out. Wow! The Wolfpack make 2 base running mistakes. They get called out on a tag up to third to a fly out to the center fielder, and then they get caught stealing at second. Fernando Gonzalez down the line a little bit, however, a great grab from Branch and a immediate tag gets the runner, And that ends the bottom of the second. What a fun inning for the Bulldogs defensively as they stand strong. And now we go to the top of the third. Wow, oh wow. That was not what the Wolfpack wanted and exactly what the Bulldogs needed. We're about to get another highlight, it looks like, over here on ESPN Plus. Or on ESPN Tracker. Jeez. I really can't think what NC State was doing there. The hit and run wasn't on. There was no swing. I'm unsure. Now, the only interesting thing is we've gone to commercial break on the actual stream. However, ESPN over here, this is hard. Over here, they have not recorded the third out. So I wonder if a challenge came in. Would seem strange. They're likely just behind from the double play. That's why you got no zone tracking for that at bat. But we'll see. Oh, of course, golf is on today. Or golf and tennis. So those are the two main things happening outside of American baseball. As we're getting a look at the bracket, Florida State, Virginia, and North Carolina have all moved on. Tennessee and Evansville, the only decider on that side of the bracket, which I'm not sure many Tennessee fans were predicting. And hey, if there's one thing about the University of Georgia, we hate Tennessee, so I'm okay with that. And I would love to see Evansville win one, so, or, win the series. They've already won one. A little bit of pause here before the start of the third. It is not a review, so I don't know why ESPN is being slow over on that side. But we're ready to go as Collins squares to bunt, tries to push it down the line. Almost a perfect bunt. That was almost what you see on the highlight reels where he almost bunted for a double down the third base line. Of course, they play Collins in a pretty heavy shift where the third baseman is about 5 steps from the second base bag. So not a bad idea, and he almost executed it perfectly. Slider outside part of the plate. He doesn't like it as Collins takes a strike. And of course, you have to remember Corey Collins got rung up watching strike 3, something he doesn't normally do. So, perhaps adding to the frustration a little bit. I was really rooting for that bunt double, but the 0-2, this one down the other side, kicks off the first baseman's glove and into right field. Diving play, hit right into the shift, but hit so hard, would have likely made its way through as that one was smoked. Just off the end of the bat, barrels it up well. Maybe there's a chance, and I think there would have been if the NC State first baseman had let that one go and let his second baseman, who was deep in the outfield, grass field it and throw on over. But that is certainly a hard thing to do when you see a rocket coming your way, especially in a shift like that. Good stop from the backstop here for the Wolfpack as he saves a free runner at second base as Collins can't take off. And this is Charlie Condon. Yet again, Corey Collins gets on. We've seen this so often this season. And Charlie Condon gets to come up after. The 1-0, it is off the tip of the bat, high in the air. You can see how much power Condon has because that is about 3 steps shy of the warning track, despite a bad swing, however, an out nonetheless. Apologize for ESPN over there being a little bit off, but that was out number 1. Don't like that swing and approach from Charlie Condon there, but he knows more than I do. Certainly. This ball in play. It'll land right in front of the right fielder here, two-hop him, and the Bulldogs will go station to station. As swinging on the first pitch is Alford, and he gets himself a single. Good job there, especially with that pitch location. Fastball top of the zone, just a bit above the belt, in between the belt and those numbers on the Georgia jersey. Able to just fight it off and somehow keep its height, which is something very hard to do. When it's high in the zone, usually you're going to just pound it in the ground, but he keeps his hands in. Hits a liner to right field. That's good for the single as ball one to the new batter. Two runners on, one out. This one chopped to third. This is a double play ball. Instead, going the short way is the third baseman. The throw over not in time. Not sure about that decision from the Wolfpack. As that one quickly got to third, I certainly thought it would be a 5-4-3 double play. Instead, he takes it himself to the third base bag to get the lead runner. Interesting. They'll keep runners at first and second, although, of course, the runners under different names, and now with two outs. I don't know if he was scared of Alford's speed breaking that up. Maybe he saw Alford got a good jump. That, from this viewpoint, does not seem like the correct decision, and now it gives Trey Phelps a chance to still do some damage. Just weird. The Wolfpack playing not very technically sound today as a swing and a miss at a ball just above the dirt. '40th pitch of the day for Fritton is a ball. This one bounces away. However, Alford doesn't go too far, as getting it to it quickly was the Wolfpack backstop. If I could do one thing as a Bulldogs batter right now, it would maybe be seeing more pitches. I really haven't been impressed with Fritton's stuff. And right now, the Bulldogs just swinging at really anything in the strike zone early. Maybe sit back a little bit more, take a couple more pitches, work his pitch count up, especially if the goal is getting to that bullpen. Now, the bullpen is very good and it's very rested. However, you want to get to them today and not tomorrow. But, of course, that's thinking ahead. As Phelps gets on this one, he thinks it's gone. To the batter's eye, over it! 5-0 Dogs. Phelps knew it right away. He'll touch all the bags. And the Dogs are up 5-0. That one, again, the ball is flying. That one didn't look crushed. It was 108 off the bat, 420 feet. The Dogs are up 5-0. Wow. I've had the problem here before with the camera angle in Athens. It can be deceiving. I didn't think that one was crushed, but Phelps knew it right away. And hey, that's what happens when you don't take the 5-4-3. You know, maybe you don't turn it, but that was the 5-4-3 double play was much more likely than going to third yourself and throwing on over to the other corner. Dogs are able to get a 3-run shot out of it as quickly jumping on the first pitch and lining out is Jordan. So that will end the inning. However, 3 more runs stacked up as Phelps, outside zone, able to get to it and somehow just keep it perfectly straight. Didn't even go the other way with it. That was perfect for an up-o taco. Instead, goes straight dead center. And the Dogs with a big lead will head to the bottom of the third. Whew. That one got me pumped up. That one was fun. Whew. What a game so far. Let's reset the outs. Maybe we get into some of the game highlights down here. Maybe we look at these. Oh, I gotta mute that at the very least. That's Alford's first home run. Or was it Alford? Was it Alford? I can't remember. Yeah, it was Alford. That's his shot. Pretty looking swing. That's the only thing they have. I thought they would at least have that catch that ended the inning, like I said, but whatever. Fun game so far for the Bulldogs is they get to see 8-9-1 after, of course, the double play. Your typical, I guess, what was it, 8-5 double play, and then caught the runner stealing. As Phelps probably cutting to some old footage as ESPN, but showing him getting congratulated in the dugout, although as the DH, might be live, who knows. First pitch of this inning is that slider, however, a bit too far inside, as Finley couldn't get it over the plate. Count evens up. Finley, that slider has looked excellent. That's the pitch he's been relying on. However, he can tunnel it real well with that fastball, which he did on that pitch, and get that foul ball where, I mean, Nixon was just way, way behind, miles behind. It's about a 10-mile-per-hour difference between his slider and his fastball, which can certainly help. And they run the same. I mean, there's way more vertical drop in the slider and probably more horizontal movement, as this one's bunted into the Wolfpack dugout. A pop-up bunt that ends up in the batter's own dugout for strike two. Interesting. So Finley in another 1-2 count. We'll get another foul ball here. I haven't seen it yet, but ESPN Pitch Tracks tells me so. Just early on now that he was expecting perhaps the fastball, and this time came around too early on the inside slider. So this is, of course, Luke Nixon. They're showing his father, who played 12 years in the MLB. The brothers have some good lineage, good genes in terms of baseball. This is apparently a ball. We'll see. Yeah, upstairs, especially with Nixon's short stature and low stance. Nixon not that tall. As Finley starting to lose him. This time a ball inside. That was the fastball. Not bad location. I know the pitch track says inside by a decent bit. Not bad at all. Maybe 2 inches outside. Or inside, excuse me. So we'll apparently get another foul ball. So this has certainly been the longest at-bat of the day, as we'll have another payoff after that foul ball. That was a fastball right belt high. Good pitch. Thank you all for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be appreciated. And also, if you want to talk, leave some questions or comments in the chat. I'd love to talk to you all. For the 3-2, this one chopped to second, easy play. The light toss on over gets the out. And right now, after we saw Zeldin get up in the bullpen, maybe Finley using that as some steam, as since then he has just been perfect with the help of his defense. Breaking ball, strike one, swing and a miss. Strike 2 on the foul ball. Sorry about that. All right. Finley blocking in here. It's been pretty much all contact. He's got that slider working, which makes it interesting that he's not really striking too many out. That's one way to keep your pitch count down, as I just jinxed it in a good way as he gets a strikeout. Swinging strikeout here. It's the fastball. Whew. The pitch tracks on that, not great. That was paint. That one might not even been a strike. Knee height, probably a little lower than it comes up on there. Maybe a bit outside, but I do think it just barely nicked the zone. And that's why it's a strikeout. That was a pretty pitch, and that batter was just frozen, and I don't blame him. As is this a... I'm confused. I thought we were back up to the leadoff. Has Finley really faced the minimum? I'm confused. There's no way he's faced the minimum, right? I guess with the double play and the picked off runner, or not picked off, but thrown out runner, he has faced the minimum. That's crazy. Defense certainly helping him out there. He had 2 runners on, no outs, and yet he still faced the minimum. Can I say minimum more? Oh, let me... 1-1 becomes 1-2. Looks like paint on the pitch tracks. It is, right? Knee high. Umpire may be leaning a bit low today. One, two. We'll see if Georgia can get out of it. Again, pitch tracks ahead of me. I want to see if I can fix that, as that's low and inside. I hate seeing it over here first. It's like, it almost, when I'm looking at the pitch tracks on my screen, you could see my third screen right here. It almost looks like I'm looking at the one on stream, which I could just do, but it's kind of funny how that works out. 2-2. In play, this one might have enough to get over the head. Jumping grab, one hops the wall. Now Corey Collins slow to get it. However, he'll get it in quick enough to hold it to a double. That's where Corey Collins really doesn't shine, is his defense. Came in as a catcher to UGA. Realized he couldn't really play that position. That ball a hard one to get to, however, you think an everyday corner outfielder likely gets there, as he moves from first to right field today. Lets that one get over his head despite playing real deep. I won't say that one was on him, as that was a well hit ball, but that's where MLB teams are going to be a little bit hesitant in drafting him. Strike, outside part of the plate. Wow, that pitch tracks is just way off. It's almost not worth having that up there. It's like, that was a borderline, and that one shows it like well in the strike zone. CBS Sports doesn't pitch track college baseball, though, which is the reason I don't have that up. Usually that's the one to look at. Ooh, good pitch. Going outside to inside and getting a swinging strike. Finley, a little bit more traffic on the base pads, has no longer faced the minimum, and he won't. However, one more strike, and he's out of the inning unscathed. We're going to hide this so no one's looking ahead. The 0-2, it's outside. You know what, we'll put up this. There you go. Now we're not looking ahead. I'll try and fix it, so, but... Alright, here we go. The 1-2. Pitch number 49. Finley looks back at second, comes home. Big part of the zone and fouled off. It was low, which helped him there. Oops, didn't mean to put on a ball. as it was a foul ball. Just about to finish 3 innings with 5 runs. Hopefully finish 3 innings, and we're not even an hour in, so this game moving quickly despite the offense. 1-2. This one, bottom of the zone. All he could do was fight it off to the second baseman. The throw over easy, and that will end the inning. Great pitch. Having to go downstairs on the slider was the batter. As that one just too close to take, and at the last second, like I've said with that slider all day, it just fell. And it fell out of the zone. He just threw the bat at it and grounded out. And we'll go to the top of the 4th. Again, the Wolfpack threatened just a bit, but not enough. Top of the 4th, here we come. Alright, I left the ads unmuted again. Again, I don't know if you guys can hear that. If you can, let me know in the chat. Bulldogs up big, 5-0. Of course, the home team usually goes on the bottom of a scoreboard. However, the Wolfpack on the bottom, as in Game 2, as you've noticed, they get to bat last. So, an advantage. I don't really... It makes sense for a 3-game series, but kind of a weird rule. As Wes Johnson getting interviewed, as he's done an excellent job this season. I mean, what a coach to come into a situation that was not very good and make it very good instantly. So, of course, lots of transfers, a lot of new faces, and that's worked. As Wes Johnson quite quickly hopped off the interview. That was maybe a 1-minute interview. I don't know if they didn't want to interview him during the game, which was probably his request, but don't see that too often. As Dylan Carter steps in. Ball 1. Everyday center fielder now. Watches that one low and away as well. I'm going to refresh my feed.
Down biomechanics, how you move as you go down the slope.
You didn't hear that. Pretend you didn't hear that. I'm talking to YouTube, so I don't get copyright striked. As it's 3-1. Oh my gosh, everything's breaking. Now this is... And I somehow got more behind. Because I still haven't seen the strike. What the hell?
I think that's where you want to be as a pitching coach in today's game, is understanding the analytical world, being able to explain it to your pitchers, but also being able to...
Well, apparently he walks. I'm not even... The pitcher isn't even in his windup yet. There we go. Now I see the walk. What the heck? How do I fix this? I just need YouTube TV to not stink. But it definitely does stink because I'm still behind. Whatever, I guess. I don't know. Strike 1. I'm just now seeing it. Dead middle. We'll see if Carter maybe takes off. What is happening down there? Georgia bullpen looks like it's working, which is interesting. I thought Finley would have a chance to go a bit more. I think he still will, but The reason no pitch has been thrown was Carter was checked on at first. He got in safely, of course. As now the 0-1 squaring to bunt. Small ball. This is a good bunt. No man's land. Second baseman will eventually get to it. He can't barehand it. And picked up by the pitcher to essentially freeze the play, but not after the bunt single. Wow. Great bunt from Gonzalez, who I'm sure was just looking for a sacrifice. It was right in between pitcher and first baseman. Hit hard enough to where it got by the pitcher before he could get off the mound. Of course, the way he was coming down the mound, as a righty, he's going to turn towards third base, so he couldn't just flip around. So that's why that velocity on the bunt mattered. Is as he came down as a righty, he was turned the other way. And second baseman was playing pretty far back, so when the first baseman didn't go for it, it was all guaranteed. All but guaranteed to be a bunt hit. And now, NC State's going to have a meeting on the mound. It was a long meeting, as that was the 50th pitch of the day for the Wolfpack starter. And, of course, 2 on and no out here in the top of the 4th, and what could dangerously become an explosion, as now it is the 9-hole batter. So just think, if you can flip it back up and get some runners on for Corey Collins and Charlie Condon, you're in a good spot. As the first meeting on the mound looked like it was time for a bullpen arm to get warmed up, because there is now a second meeting on the mound. I still haven't seen a call to the bullpen. How do we get 2 meetings on the mound? I guess an injury meeting was the first one. What? Injury meeting after the bunt because the pitcher came off the mound weird. Now we've got the pitching coach out there. And I think the change was just made as the umpire has made his way out. He's putting his book away. I never saw the call, but I still haven't seen the call, and it doesn't look like a pitcher is coming in. So, but the umpire trotted out there and still hasn't broken up the meeting. Alright, so it is finally a pitching change. Holy crap. Took long enough, as it looks like actually Georgia came out to discuss that this has taken way too long. We'll see who the new pitcher is when we come back. As Foley clapping for the pitching change, doing their patented special, as we've now gone to an ad break. That was extremely weird and probably should not be allowed. I've always hated that when I've called baseball at Mercer University. Just the ways you can get around a pitching change and take as much time as possible to get your arm warmed up. That one seemed even more extended. I think it was an injury discussion, and then the pitching... It wasn't the pitching coach, it was the head coach. I don't know. That was weird. It took at least 3 minutes to get from that play ending to a new pitcher finally coming out of the bullpen. I'm just yapping now, but that was weird. Alright, so we're in ad break again. Colby Branch will be up to bat after we get back. And of course, after Branch, we get the top of the lineup, which could be very interesting with 2 runners on and no outs. I want to thank everyone for watching again. You can leave a like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And if you want to comment, start a discussion, feel free to do so. All you have to do to comment is subscribe, and then it'll let you comment. There's no time period on it. That's just to avoid bots, which we've had a couple of before. But yeah, thank you all for watching. All right, so Ryan Marone, 4-2 win-loss, 3.60 ERA, 55 innings, 62 hits, 44 strikeouts, and I missed the walk number. It was something like 22 or something. So high whip, however, last 5 games, a 1.31 ERA, 18 strikeouts to 5 walks, and now a lefty up. He is a lefty, so this could be interesting. Branch will watch the first pitch go by for a ball. As the Mets and Phillies tied in the top of the 9th, of course, that's the London series, so then the only reason that really matters. Or why I'm getting a score update on it. Strike 1, as it goes 1-1 on the swinging strike. Dang, my YouTube TV is so far behind. I wonder if there's like a faster way to do it. So I do have a tablet here. This is usually for broadcasting, having information at my fingertips. But this way, maybe this one's ahead. I don't know. Or maybe this is not turning on. It usually needs a while to wake up. It's a little bit old. Alright. Foul ball coming in. Let me see if I can somehow get more caught up. I know it's a weird complaint, but I hate watching the pitch tracker. Rather wait the 5 seconds. My live stream's delayed anyway, so what does it matter to y'all if you really think about it? The 1-2. This one swung on, driven back above, well, right to the top of the netting, and the count will remain the same. Let's see. I'm on my second computer. Is this ahead or behind? This one's ahead. High drive, deep left field, off the top of the wall. Runners had to hold up, sliding into third. And that will score. Bottom of the screen says 2 runs. It definitely did not score 2, as it's reset to 6. So it is 6-0 Dogs. Sorry, I was confused. Branch thought it was a home run the way he was coming out of the box. It just hits maybe 6 inches from the top of the wall and going over. An RBI double puts runners at second and third for the top of the lineup. Sorry for bumping my mic there. And of course, it is now 6-0. As we'll get this back up since I'm a bit more ahead now. I wonder how close that one was.
Corey Collins is 1 for 2.
And now Corey Collins can't do this to him. He gets way ahead in the count. Ooh. And he should be up 3-0. He swings at a bad pitch. And I'm faster than the ESPN strike zone. Let's go. We're caught up. That was just not the pitch you want to swing at there. The 2-1. This one. Into the shift. It will score a run as they have to throw on over. Second baseman deep in the hole. His only play was at first. Coming home to score is the runner from third, and advancing to third is Branch. Smart play from Collins with no outs. I mean, I'm sure he's looking to get a hit there, but no reason to force anything, and he didn't. As that is simply the first out in the top of the 4th, and he'll take a run for his efforts. And they are going to intentionally walk Charlie Condon. With a runner on third and 1 out, this is probably the correct play, but plenty of respect coming in for Charlie Condon. Wow. Don't see many players get that kind of respect. Charlie Condon getting it. 2 balls, no strikes. Of course, with Condon being locked, it's Slate Alford, who has had a great day. So you're not exactly getting away from a great hitter. Definitely a bit of a downgrade, but with the day Alford is having, not too much. The count is 3-0. Thanks all for watching. We're now over 60 views, so 60 unique viewers. Thanks all for tuning in. As the 3-0 becomes 4-0, as a great eye, Alford was never going. He put the bat on his shoulder. However, that loads the bases with just 1 out. However, it's been the worst batter in the lineup today for the Bulldogs. And of course, Georgia has had 12 grand slams this season. It's the most in program history. Totes with none of them. He'll try and get his first, as he'll start with a favorable count, 1 ball and no strikes. As the Bulldogs looking to do what NC State did to them yesterday, and really just get a thrashing in here. 1-1, as that one just dipped into the middle of the zone. Looks like it'll become 2-1, so I'm somehow behind yet again. A little bit too inside, almost scraped the kneecap on the way by. Dogs up a touchdown, as the broadcaster just said. This one hit high. This won't do it. This is in foul territory right besides the first base bag and brought in for the second out of the inning. And again, the left fielder, new to this lineup today in that left field spot. Now 0 for 3. Not what you want to see from him, especially when you make a change to bring him into the lineup. Jeez. As it will be Phelps, who his last time up hit a 3-run home run. He'll take ball 1. That one was close. I would have given that a strike. However, umpire says just a bit too high. I like that pitch, but goes the way of the Bulldogs. As here a foul ball. The only good thing about the pop out is that you now have a chance to bat here, because maybe on a ground out it's a double play and that ends your inning. So Phelps, the hot bat, gets a chance here to blow this one open. Don't want to get ahead of us, so we'll stay on the live stream. The 1-1. Fouled off. Phelps' hands came apart. He's looking at his glove as his backhand, I believe it was his left, just came away. Maybe his right, I don't know. Just came off the bat. The 1-2 bounced in there. Strange swing. Maybe trying a little too hard is Phelps. 2-2. Bases loaded. 2-2 pitch. This one hit hard down the line. Curling foul, and it will land in the foul dirt. That one just a couple steps shy of the Georgia bullpen, and luckily right fielder could not get to it, so simply a foul ball, and Phelps gets another shot. This one hits Phelps. He does the correct thing, doesn't get out of the way. That one, he didn't lean into it, but he didn't get out of the way, and he adds a run for free. 8-0 Dogs. As this one came in high and tight, he starts to tuck his elbow, does a good job to avoid getting hit in the elbow, gets hit in a little meteor of a place up here, but he really didn't try and get out of the way and takes the free run. And the umpires are going to get together to discuss if he did enough They are going to review it. I think he did enough. Like, he didn't dive into it. This is his natural stand. Yeah, this should stand. I'd be. He doesn't move towards it, like I said. He dips back like you would if you're trying to avoid it. Just doesn't really do it with that much enthusiasm. This should stand, and I would be very, very surprised if it didn't. It is ruled as a hit by pitch, and the run scores due to the bases loaded. They're showing the replay yet again. I mean, I'm surprised this has taken this long. Umpires are done discussing, and they rule it a hit by pitch. The correct call. And your argument is that, Phelps doesn't move enough out of the way, but that is not the job of the batter. So I think that's the correct call. He didn't lean into it, certainly. So, correct call, and Dogs score yet another, and they get a chance to add on more, still with the bases loaded. However, 2 outs. As not a great relief outing from the Wolfpack pitcher who has been great so far. This one rifled foul as Condon had to dip out of the way as he stands on third. 1-1. As Logan Jordan looks to make his mark. As, of course, yet again, his first start in over a month. Kind of thrown into the fire and a good chance to prove he deserves to be here right now. However, he swings and misses at this one. We're going to put this away. The pitch tracker, I mean. Those are the scores from later today. Of course, no one's playing yet, so just an insight into who's playing later. Low. Ooh, good take from Jordan. Just a little bit below the knees, maybe an inch or two low. That one's not really one you can take on a 1-2, yet his eye pays off. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Jordan goes down swinging. Not what you want to see from someone you specifically bring in to help your troubles at first base. Of course, not offensive troubles with Corey Collins, but to get Goldstein out, who's been poor. That will, of course, end the inning. So Georgia tacks on a couple more runs. Could have certainly gotten more. However, I'm sure they'll be happy with it as we'll head to the bottom of the fourth. Eventually. Once ESPN gets their ad revenue. I want to thank everyone again for watching. If you want to talk about anything, leave a comment in the chat. All you have to do is subscribe for, a second or two, and then you can comment. And you can unsubscribe right away if you want to. So Georgia up 8-0. I was really thinking they were going to break through that inning and make it like NC State was yesterday, just a huge lead that they could glide into the next game with. However, they'll still have to battle for it. 8 runs is a large lead, however, with an offense like the Wolfpacks, and of course only in the bottom of the fourth. Not a safe lead. It's very, very possible a comeback is mounted. We'll see how it goes. As we're in the middle of a legal help ad, so if anyone needs legal help, apparently now you know where to go. Showing beautiful Athens, Georgia, as I see my old parking garage from when I used to go there. Now Kudzu Hill, as you can see some of the houses behind it. Smoking that wolf pack. That's a good sign. I didn't see that one yesterday. Seen a couple of the others as we're ready for action here in the bottom of the fourth. As Finley, of course, still on the mound, even though the bullpen has been working vigorously as he throws ball one. That might have been his best movement on his fastball so far today. However, it started in the middle of the strike zone and ended up inside. That was very good movement to that pitch, though. Ooh. Buzzes at the tower. As Pennington maybe a little bit more awake, as that one came very close to a headshot. And now maybe you see why the bullpen has been working, as Finley very uncompetitive so far in this at-bat. We'll see if he's swinging on the 3-0. Down 8, you would assume Pennington is not. He is not, and he'll take a walk to first. A 4-pitch walk from Finley. The only time we've seen that earlier today was kind of a purposeful handing of, I believe, Cozart. Handling, I should say. As maybe not Cozart. I can't remember who it was, but a Wolfpack member who was extremely hot here. Pennington, not one of the hotter batters in the lineup, as he's cooled off this season. But he gets a 4-pitch walk to first, and now the Wolfpack a chance to start to do some damage. They've had their leadoff batters on before, as Makarevich fouls this one off. And Finley was able to work around it before with the help of his defense. Here he's looking to get some for himself as 2 quick strikes. That's the way to battle back from a 4-pitch walk. Get something in the heart of the zone and then get your slider working at the bottom of the zone. Finley kicks and delivers, and that is a swinging strikeout. Makarevich confused as he sat down yet again on the strikeout. This time he went with the fastball, and of course, like I said, like the slider, similar movement, he actually got under it and came up with nothing. Makarevich, I think, thought it was a slider. He does tip it into the glove. A good job to squeeze it by Gonzalez, just getting a piece. Good job to catch that one on the foul tip. Now Cozart. Want to be careful with him. Starts him with a good pitch, does Finley. That slider bottom of the zone, however, he lays off. This one low and outside. They're talking about how much the Cozart family eats, which, fun story, a little bit weird. Said 12 gallons of milk a week. At that point, you're half milk. You're like, half milk, half water. This one popped up. Cozart throws his bat. It almost hits Gonzalez. Carter will camp out under it, and that is the second out. I didn't like that. Nothing being said, I don't know how close it came to Gonzalez, but from the center field camera, it looked dangerous. I'll watch it again. Yeah. And Gonzalez is upset a little bit. He doesn't ever get too animated, but I'm surprised there was no warning from the umpire there, as he just tossed his bat towards his own dugout dangerously. Not so much a bat flip as a bat toss, I don't know. But 2 outs, a good job to battle back from the leadoff runner getting on, as Finley looking like a totally different pitcher here than we've seen this season. Just I mean, he's been good, but right now he's great. Fastball. This one will get through. Weak contact, but the chopper gets through on the shift. Corey Collins able to get it in quick enough to hold the runner at second, and there will be runners at first and second with 2 outs. Not great contact, just hit it straight in the ground. However, Butterworth able to hit it where no one was. The DH Sosa takes strike 1, outside part of the plate. Is that fastball taking a bit off of it, did Finley, as that one just touched 90. Interesting to see, as he's been around 93. Foul ball makes it 0-2. And now Finley in the driver's seat. Dogs looking to force a game 3. Right now, they're doing very well. Not expecting this, I don't think, was really anyone today. I thought maybe the Dogs would force a game 3. I would have leaned that way, but I did not think it would be 8-0. See if it remains 8-0 as we go into the 5th. Strikeout looking right at the knees, inside corner, and it will be 8-0 going into the 5th. Good pitch. Sosa not liking it. That one, the changeup. Not the slider. He's had so much success with the slider. That one, the changeup, and it works out for him. All right, well. Dogs, right now, doing very, very well for themselves and looking to force a game 3. We're in ads that I forgot to mute. So, fun. I keep doing that. Well, we're already back to the game, so they're ready to go. If you're watching, let me know what game you're most excited for later out of this slate. Clemson, Florida, Evansville, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Oregon, and Kentucky, Oregon State. They are interviewing NC State's head coach, Avent. He's an old school guy, and he's proving it in this interview. This is a good interview. And he's staying on the mic a little bit longer than Wes Johnson did as we have started the inning. As it's a strike to Dylan Carter. And that one a foul ball as he tried to bunt his way on. All right, count has even back up. We'll see how Carter approaches.
They follow us just like we follow them, and it's amazing they can do that with kids, with the life they got going on.
And Carter looks at one that was pretty well in the zone. I think he was just frozen there. I don't think he disagreed. He shook his head a bit, but I think that was more like, I missed that one, as that'll be the first out of the inning. As Marone stays on, the left-hander came on in relief. Only one earned run charged to him, however. He came in with a bit of a jam and certainly did not get NC State out of it efficiently. So while those aren't charged to him, not a great day from him. 2 balls, 1 strike, as Marone works quickly. This one bounced in. I'm a little bit behind again, so I just saw it become 2 balls, 1 strike. Even though that's had it for a while. And the 2-1. Hard liner down the line. It will stay fair. It'll roll to the wall. That should be a stand-up double for Gonzalez. And it will be as the relay comes in towards the third base bag. And that is a double. And the Dogs, again, got something going here in the top of the 5th. And again, it's the bottom of the lineup producing, as Branch will be up to bat. 1 out this time. Doesn't help as much, but you'll take a double whenever you can get it. As strike 1 comes into the shortstop, Branch. This one popped out of play, actually, for strike 1. Alright, so the Dogs, I think, start feeling real comfortable with the 10-0 lead through 5. So they'll look to reach that mark. No pitches come in yet, so I assume it's in play. Diving stop by the shortstop. Did it hit the ground? They'll say it was a line out. So Branch is out on a line out. The camera on the stream didn't flip around quick enough to see. No, that bounced. Why is it marked an out? It should be first and second with 1 out. We'll see if the stream picks up on it. ESPN has said infield single. All right, so the Dogs got something going. The shortstop just pockets it as Branch was sprinting down the line. And Corey Collins back to the top of the lineup takes ball 1. Foul ball, strike 2. Or strike 1, excuse me, the count evens up. This is a good foul ball, though. It was right down the line. First baseman was able to bring it in on the shift. However, no shift on, and that was a double.
Leadoff hitter, not going to run when he gets on. Corey Collins might be the only leadoff hitter in college baseball that does not even have a stolen base. Hasn't even attempted one this year.
Talking about Corey Collins and how he's a interesting leadoff. Said he might be the only leadoff hitter that has not attempted for a stolen base this season. That one high and inside, called a strike. I didn't like that call. Goes 1-2, and then ESPN over here telling us it's 2-2. We're going to go ahead and hide that so we can not spoil anything. Runners at first and second, 1 out, and an even count. This would seem like the spot for Collins to finally get to 20. Not finally, but get to 20 home runs on the season. It was a good pitch to do it, however, he was way out in front. A scorcher towards the bullpen. They said 107 off the bat there. I would have thought 110, 112. It was a high looping off speed that he almost hacked at like an axe. Hard to make contact like that, but he did. Here, the 2-2 yet again. It goes into the glove of the pitcher. Marone is second. Over to first. Collins can't beat it out. And an inning-ending double play. Great job for Marone to field his position. And that one, an unlucky break for the Dogs. As some great defense from the Wolfpack ends their threat. And the first half inning for the Dogs in a while where they haven't put up anything. So, can't get that 10 spot. They'll have to try and keep at it as we go to the bottom of the fifth. It's a good play from Marone. That one came in hard, right back at him. Great job to even get to that, let alone turn the double play. It can be so hard for a pitcher to throw to second. Well, the French Open men's has been decided. I know nothing about tennis, so Carlos Alcaraz, I hope I'm saying that right, has won. I don't know if anyone cares in the chat, but sorry, I got things happening, which is crazy. Getting alerts and stuff from my future job. Starts in 2 weeks now. Oof. Alright, they're showing a preview of Clemson, Florida. That's scheduled to kick off in an hour. We'll see how much of that game we get to watch along with this one. Yeah, bottom of the fifth here, so we might only see 1 or 2 innings while the Georgia game is going on of Clemson, Florida. As Nixon up to bat for the Wolfpack. As Finley yet again returns to the bump. He starts with strike 1. This has got to be, if Finley can get through here, this has got to be all you wanted from him. If he can get through the fifth with no runs scored, you know, even if he can't go into the sixth or starts getting touched up in the sixth, this is pretty much exactly what you wanted from him. And he's just been absolutely dominant with that slider. And hopefully if you win Game 3 tomorrow, you feel confident about him pitching in the World Series in Omaha. However, again, that's looking way forward. But his stuff today has been excellent. The 0-2. This one off the hands of the bat, popped up. It'll be right next to first base in foul territory and brought in. And while he now has 4 strikeouts, it's been stuff like that, where getting ahead in the count and then attacking inside and basically just all around the plate, but not really pitches you can do anything with, where he's been so excellent so far. And I think Finley here, of course, every pitcher always looks for a 1-2-3, but he would love a 1-2-3 inning after NC State has definitely gotten some traffic on the base pads in the past couple innings. This one right down the middle. This Wolfpack members looking like they're trying to wait in the count when a lot of Finley's pitches, when they haven't been slider bottom of the zone, they've been hittable to start counts, and the batter's just kind of frozen. Here's one of them sliders that dips low and away. I just realized the scoreboard down here has the Sunbelt Baseball League logo. So if you don't know, I worked, I don't know, for the Sunbelt Baseball League, which is a collegiate league, summer league that a lot of players go into to keep themselves fresh. Corey Collins was actually in the Sunbelt League last year, where he won MVP in the championship series. But I do some work for them, so that was me designing this scoreboard down here. So that's why that's up there. I just realized that was there. Another pop-up, should be an easy play, just out of the infield. It should be Alford's ball. Now coming on is the left fielder, and he drops it. Oof. And that will be a double Not really a double. We'll see if it's ruled an error. Those are interesting as Totes continues his bad day. It's been bad at the plate, and now it's been bad in the outfield. Just nowhere near it. Wow, he should have had that one and just whiffed. And instead of 2 outs and no one on, it is 1 out and a runner on second. That was ugly. So now the Wolfpack with a runner in scoring position, strike at the top of the zone. Not 2 strikes, just 1. Yeah, they call it an error, as they should. Those are always weird, but they do call that one an error. Just a bad day from the left fielder. Like I said, at the plate and fielding. Now a bunt attempt. It is a almost perfect bunt. Condon a great job to let it roll foul. And now it goes 0-2. He almost could have picked that up and tried to get the advancing runner. Heavner, who was on his way to third. But likely the best play to just let that one roll foul. No risks.
And that's the only thing. Yes, and of course, the body's going to fill out even more. I mean, you can see him putting on another 20 pounds. And the question is, can he move enough to play third base? Now, you can always stick him at first. And they say if you put him on the mound, he can go 90 to 95 velocities. That tells me he's got a big arm. So certainly any
That'll be a ball here. They're talking about Charlie Condon playing pitcher.
probably for me going to be a first baseman at the big league level.
Perhaps in the MLB, which would certainly be interesting.
I mean, Chris Bryant comes to mind. 6'5" third baseman.
They're saying if he fills out his body with some more weight, he might not have the ability to play third. I disagree with that. I'm a Braves fan, and Austin Riley plays third well. And he is a big boy.
All over the place, except for middle infield this season.
That's what the second post.
It wouldn't surprise me if he ends up as a first baseman, but he certainly... Weight won't be the problem. Weight and agility won't be the problem for him at third base, I don't think. Would simply just be talent and if he can hold up there. I don't think adding 15, 20 pounds would really do that much to his third base game. The 2-2.
77th pitch of the game, the fifth.
High upstairs. Wow, home plate umpire calls the check swing. That location of that pitch is absolutely wrong. That was high and outside.
He's done a good job with his changeup, and he's also doing a good job elevating.
Oh, he certainly did. Good call by the home plate umpire. I thought that would need an appeal down, but that was certainly a swing. And that is out number 2, another strikeout to Finley's total. As now he has the opportunity to get the 9-hole batter and shut this down and maybe leave it to the bullpen. You don't really want to go through the lineup again if you're Finley, especially when you can end it cleanly with the 9-hole. We'll see if that's the goal or not. He's only on pitch 79.
That changeup starts in off the line. As a hitter, you see it as a ball. But if you watch that changeup, it leaks back over the court. You give up on it, you just kind of...
There is pitch 79, and it's a ball outside.
Exact same pitch.
It's a fastball. Good location, just a bit outside.
Anytime the changeup oozes, that's a good sign.
The oozing changeup is a really good sign, especially when it's a ball out of the hand and it creeps back over.
All right. Pitch number 80 is a strike. I'm about to watch it. That was that fastball. He's still touching 93, so we saw him dip around 90 and 91 earlier. That's certainly not the problem anymore. Or, I mean, fatigue at pitch 80 is not the problem, so he just dipped a little bit lower. And he's in the 1-2. Again, trying to strand a runner in scoring position. That's what he's done so well today, especially with the help of his defense. Here, a foul ball. We'll keep it alive. Jeez, this pitch track is just so bad. That one was upstairs. That one was probably where, in between pitch 1 and 3, and the height of pitch 3. And pitch 4 is where they said it was. That's ball 2. And now, there's a good fastball inside. Again, pitch tracks doesn't do it justice. Now, as you start to get towards 85, you do kind of start to believe that Finley will come out for the 6th, and as soon as he gets a hit on him, he'd likely be pulled. That is, if he can finish this bottom of the 5th, as the count is now full. And yet another good pitch. That one, I wouldn't say was inside at all, just a bit low on the changeup. I don't know how you take that as a batter. That was a strike the whole way until the last second. Dogs fans aren't happy about it. The payoff pitch. That one, similar pitch. This one, a low chopper again to second base. The throw over in time, and that ends the 5th inning. Yet again, Finley, this pitch, strike the whole way. Last second, it's almost in the dirt. You just have to throw the bat at it, and it's an easy ground out. So we'll see if he comes out for the 6th. I would be inclined to say he does. And just pitches. I mean, if he can get through 3, he'll finish it. But if he gets touched up, he'll likely be done as his pitch count starts to approach 100. All right, so due up is 2, 3, 4, the part of the order you want, although not been happy with Totes' performance today. Just saw him commit a 2-base error, of course, and he's 0 for 3 at the plate. One of, I believe, 2 batters in the Georgia lineup who has not recorded a hit. We can go check it out. Yep, him and Jordan, so both players that have come on as spot starters, not usual starters, but have come on and filled roles today. Interesting. As the bottom of the order really getting it done, Carter, Gonzalez, and Branch all scoring runs and really setting up the top part. As I believe Phelps, he drove in Alford and Totes, so his walk, or whatever it was, it an error? Fielder's choice. That was that weird play where it didn't, for some reason, the third baseman did not choose to do a 5-4-3 double play. As we're back, of course, you can see the pitches to start Charlie Condon off. One ball, 2 strikes after that at the lower part of the plate. I thought that one might have been a bit low, especially after Finley wasn't getting those calls earlier in the game, as I can't keep up with the pitch tracks. Is Marone now looking for an extended relief as he's over 50 pitches?
That was where he finally faced enough live pitching and gained some confidence for his career.
Condon, I'm looking for something from him. He's been good, of course, but over the season he's been great. He was good in group stage. Now you really need your best player to be your best player, which he has not been in the group stage and in this series so far. Of course, today it's been Phelps. The 3-2, he crushes down the line, and it is a line out. Hit right at the third baseman, who's able to catch it. That was exactly what you want from him. Unfortunately, he just hit it at a player. That one was the likely hardest ball hit today. He literally took one step out of the box by the time it was caught. I truly do think that was likely the hardest hit ball today. So just a bit unlucky from him as he pieced that one up. Ooh, nasty curveball. Something. I'm not sure if it was a curveball, but it came in at 79 miles per hour. as the count goes 1-1 after the next pitch was a ball.
No, I think
Alford looking to continue a great day.
Con, and you talk about the best hitters, you start to get into the teens. 113, 114, that's loud. Really loud. But that's what kind of scares me a little bit about the college game. And again, I don't mind the home runs.
Oh, gross call. That was not a strike. Again, Pitch Tracks on ESPN disagrees, but that one was not a strike. The 1-2 now, chopped foul. And now Alford's going to have a word with the ump about the previous pitch. Of course, just discussing, not any bad intent, just asking where it was. The 1-2, Alford, a dribbler to short, cut off by the third baseman, the throw over in time. And Wolfpack looking to go 1-2-3 against the Bulldogs for the first time in a while. I can't remember this color commentator's name, but he was a pitcher coming out. He was the #1 overall pick in his draft. He just consistently hates offense. He's complaining about Charlie Condon's hit, which was not a hit. It was a line out, and saying it came off the bat too hard and it's dangerous. So it's just ridiculous because it was caught. It's not like when you hit it that hard, it's impossible to catch. Now there is danger for a pitcher. But there's always been danger for a pitcher. Even if it's not hit 113, if it's hit 95 and it comes back and hits the pitcher, it's going to do serious damage. This is a ridiculous conversation. This one driven to deep left field. This one has a chance, and it is out. A hard line drive that leaves the park. And there you go. That's how you make up for what has been a poor day so far. You hit your 5th home run of the season, and the Dogs up 9-0. Wow, that one got out of here in a hurry. 110 miles per hour off the bat. It was just a line drive that scraped over the top of the fence. 362 feet, but that was the hardest hit home run of the day, I believe. And the Dogs now approaching that double-digit lead. Good load, good hands, good power. That is exactly how coaches teach you to hit. That was perfect. As now Phelps up to bat. I wasn't sure that one would get out just because the launch angle was so low. And Marone trying to work so quickly, Phelps gets a time. Because Marone had essentially started his leg kick 2 seconds after he got the ball back. Good job from Phelps to throw him off a bit.
It's better than what it was many years ago. We get you a can of sardines and maybe a honey bun on your meal bun. It'd be about it.
This color commentator is something else.
If you had a little bit of money left over, you get some crackers with the sardines.
Just talking about the good old days. The 2-1. High upstairs, and it goes 3-1. I do feel bad for these commentators because this is going to be short of a home run. Looked good off the bat, about 10 feet short of the warning track. And that is out number 3. I do feel bad for these commentators, like I was saying, because, they've had 2 games back-to-back where it just hasn't been close. So, can you blame them for talking about sardines and honey buns? Probably not. But, just an interesting conversation to be had in the middle of a game. Just hit the 2-hour mark of this game. Well under it, actually, since we started late. But 2-hour mark of the stream. I want to thank everyone for watching. No one's in here right now, but we've had a very good stream comparatively to last time. And I mean, there's only been one, so I've appreciated everyone coming out, even though no one can hear this right now. Got the NBA Finals tonight, and then we have, of course, NHL Finals tomorrow. That should be fun. Sadly, the Rangers are not playing in it, but if you're a Rangers fan, you kind of expected that at the bottom of your heart. Coming up for the Wolfpack, it's Pennington. It's the part of the order they want, but hasn't been too productive today, as you can see, besides the 2 walks across the 4 at-bats for those batters. Pennington, Makarevich, and Cozart. Right now, they're showing highlights of Finley. I don't know if that means his day is done. We'll see in a second. I really think he should come out here in the 6th, and first sign of trouble be pulled. He is out here. Man, I could coach it. No, I couldn't. All right. First pitch strike. That curveball is just gross. This curveball and slider is a gross combination. I don't even know if it is a slider, but something is different than that changeup. Not curveball, I'm sorry, changeup. That gets a little bit more horizontal movement to it. See, that was the changeup again. That had less horizontal movement. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I've been calling it a slider. I truly don't know what it is. But this is, you have to be happy with Finley, a sophomore that has shown excellence today in the most high-pressure situation. You get him for at least 2 more years. Hopefully. Fastball inside part of the plate. Good play by Alford, throwing off his back foot. Isn't it time? It is! What a play! Holy! Wow! We're going to get a replay of that eventually, I think, on the highlights. I can't show it live, but Alford on the outfield grass, one hops to him, he moves to his right, throws off his back foot. Derek Jeter-esque, of course, and it is a bang-bang play, so we'll see how it's ruled. It was ruled an out by the ump on the field. The camera angle is blocked by the first base coach. Of course, every ESPN stream has a camera angle on the first and third base side. The first base camera is blocked by the coach. We're seeing the center field camera now. It's bang bang. Honestly, if I had to make the call in the field looking at this, I would call him safe. But I'm not sure there's enough to overturn this. I mean, this is as close as it gets. You can't see when his heel comes down. You can see his toe slam into the bag. You can't see if his heel hits first. That would be a huge difference. If you could see that heel make contact, I would lean towards this as an out because the call on the field was an out. This is about as close as it gets. Let's see what the commentators think. Here's the camera angle where you can maybe see the heel. I mean, they said I don't know either. Yeah, I think because it was called an out on the field, it will stick an out. That's ridiculously close. I'm not sure I've ever seen a closer play at first. And I've commentated 75 baseball games. I've watched 1,000. I don't know if I've ever seen a true tie. And remember, it's not when the ball hits the back of the first baseman's glove. That's one of the rules. It's not when it hits the back of the first baseman's glove. It's when it's in the glove. So that horizontal plane between the glove tips is actually when it's in the glove on replay. Now, of course, on the field you can't tell that. But wow, they called him safe. They overturn it. Poor Slade Alford. What a play he made just to get it ripped away by review on what was a bang-bang play. I mean, this is a Bulldogs fan's opinion, but at that point you might just want to give him the out because of how excellent of a play it was. I might pull that up just to show y'all that aren't watching live. Well, they got a chance at the double play to first, back to first. Nice. I'm sorry, that commentating didn't make much sense, but 3-6-3 double play. And now you really do wish Alford got the first out because still 2 outs nonetheless on the next pitch. Jordan, a good throw on over to shortstop Branch holding the bag. Great job on the double play. And now Finley 1 out away from 6 complete innings of shutout ball and perhaps able to trot out for a 7th. It is a swing on the first pitch. It's a flare, and it will drop fair. 1 hop to Totes in left field. That one is just unlucky as it was fisted off and just no man's land its way into a hit. Finley has never pitched more than 6 innings, and at this point I would say he's not going to get past that mark after the hit. However, with a lead like this, like the broadcasters are saying, you might get a bigger leash. First pitch misses outside. Sorry, there is a runner at first. I'm not updating the strike and ball count here, so you'll just have to look at the ESPN broadcast. I'm trying to get back to that highlight play by Alford that was called a infield single. So that we can watch it together. Oh, unfortunately, that makes sense. YouTube TV does not allow a window capture. It is a 1-2 count as Finley is about to throw his 93rd pitch to try and get out of the 6th. He has pitched 106 pitches before, but he's only gone 6 innings ever. He'll have to throw at least 1 more. As I just saw the foul ball that popped up a while ago, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, YouTube TV doesn't let me show the highlight, so hopefully we'll have to see it later. Again, the 1-2. This one, ball outside. Alright, now I can start updating stuff, because this didn't work. We'll have to see if we can find it on YouTube later. Apologize. Or maybe Twitter has it. Then we'll be good.
And now
The 2-2. Grounder to short. Alford gets another chance. He'll go the long way. A little bit low of a throw, but he gets the out nonetheless. As that is the end. We're 2/3 of the way through, and the Dogs are up 9-0. That'll work. That will work. As an excellent double play, and Finley pitching great. Gets that to work out. Alright, let's see if we can ignore what is happening here on all this. I'll fix this in a second. The scoreboard's a little janked up. As I try and find Slate Alford's play. I don't know if I'm going to find it. It was Slate Alford, right? I'm not tripping. Oh, it's Colby Branch, duh. Slate Alford is the second baseman. My bad. I feel horrible now. Colby Branch.
The first.
I haven't seen anyone repost it yet, so. Interesting. Alright, well, we tried. What else can I say? Sorry, that was Colby Branch, not Slade Alford. My mistake. Alright, we're back in the game, top of the 7th.
26-year-old in the Triple Crown victory leads the league in ERA, tied for second in wins.
A little bit of a brain fart there, but we're back.
Fifth in strikeouts.
As Marone's still out on the mound. So this is how the Wolfpack are planning to save their bullpen for tomorrow. Just let Marone go the length of a starter, essentially. Oh, what did I just do? Screen just went black for no reason. That was funny.
Jordan at the plate.
He's a little upset. He called time, was not granted time. They don't have to. Don't have to give it.
I'm way behind on YouTube TV. I'm just seeing the second ball, but we're in a 2-2 count.
Jordan here, he wasn't quite ready. Felt like he quick pitched him a little bit. He's going, hey,
Jordan, the batter, a little bit upset because he called for time and it was not granted by the umpire. And now he gets hit by a pitch. So he gets to go down to first base on a free pass after he got hit hard in the knee.
pretty much like to stay in the
Glad he looks okay. He took that one right off the kneecap, but he seems fine. Interesting. That can be an area that hurts a lot, however. He got down the line fine. We'll see if there's going to be a check on him.
And Wes Johnson's going to have a pitch runner. Send Chadwick over to run for Jordan.
So he is going to take out Jordan.
Buddy run
Wes Johnson wants to put in... Whoa, there's an argument now.
in yesterday's game.
Wes Johnson's trying to talk with the umpire to get the change. And it looks like the umpire is screaming at the NC State dugout. I can't be sure to the angles. However, Jordan will no longer be the runner on first. It is Clayton Chadwick.
It looked like Chadwick got either right or left field.
Chadwick probably comes on in right field and Corey moves down to first base, if I had to guess.
Jordan took advantage of trailing big yesterday.
And therefore, you don't need to make any more switches.
Haley David didn't.
Or perhaps with the big lead, you just start seeing a lot of backups come in.
Any impact late in the year.
A lot of pinch hitters and pinch runners starting to make their way on. We'll see.
especially this time of year.
What about your current issue?
Quick sacrifice. That moves Chadwick to second. Sorry, that one was strange as Carter on the first pitch able to move over Chadwick. However, he is out. So one out, now a runner in scoring position. That's how you play small ball. I don't know why this still hasn't updated, but it is Fernando Gonzalez to bat. He takes strike one on the outside part of the plate.
Panama City, Panama.
Of course, every time Gonzalez comes up to the plate, they have to mention he is from Panama.
Playing JV baseball when he first got to Florida. And his senior season was canceled. He had to bounce around a little bit. United States at age, probably
2-1 count. I'm kind of running out of steam here in a long stream. I can call a 4-hour game fine, but calling a 4-hour game on YouTube in a stream where you can't actually see the game is quite different. 2-2 count now as that one was fouled away. Colby Branch on deck, and then we'll flip it back to the top of the lineup. As the Braves have just started. As there'll be a break here after the foul ball. It looked like the wrist of Gonzalez is hurt, which could be a huge loss. And that's kind of the thought on bringing in pinch hitters when you're up big. If I had to guess, they're not going to let him finish this at bat. I think this would be a scenario in which you just don't risk anything, even if he is deemed okay. It's his right wrist. Commentators are saying they didn't see anything. I saw a little bit of a jolt in the arm. That wasn't really a proficient swing. However, Gonzalez seems okay. He will stay in, which is surprising. Maybe they let him finish this at bat and don't let him play defense.
That's Wes Johnson about Fernando Gonzalez as a catcher. His eyes just lit up. Compared to the great catcher that he had in Arkansas.
We'll see if that is the case. We're still taking some time as the umpire cleans the plate. Gives Gonzalez an extra second or two. We are finally ready to do the 2-2 again. Chadwick dancing at second. This is a hard liner. It will find the gap. This will be the 10th run of the game as Chadwick was going on contact. The throw into second as Gonzalez tries to extend his single into a double is in time. He is out. Bases cleared. However, that is the 10th run of the game. RBI single as Gonzalez is out trying to turn it into a double. Good job from the Wolfpack center fielder to cut that off and get Gonzalez out at second. And kind of scary from Gonzalez after you just injured your wrist to even risk that. But he seems okay, and he gets an RBI, and the Dogs now lead by double digits, as Branch will have bases empty with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. He'll swing at the first pitch, pop it out of play. It should get out of play. Chasing it is the first baseman, and eventually it does get over the back of the netting. Not what I think anyone was expecting from this game. Yesterday, a slaughter of the Bulldogs. Today, a slaughter of the Wolfpack the other way. Lots of craziness here. That one seemed low, is called a strike. As I just saw that second strike. Well, apparently we're in a 1-2. Oh my gosh, that ball, you can see it's just barely bottom of the zone. That one maybe went 50 feet. Just hit the start of the dirt and bounced in. This one, 2-2, and then that pitch was way outside, and it's called right down the middle but low. ESPN is funny. This one, high drive, should be a pop-up in center field. The wind working, and it will drive it a step or two shy of the wall, however, still brought in nonetheless. Wow, that one did not look like it should keep going, but it just kept going, and eventually is brought in at the deepest part of the ballpark. Dogs add another, so it is now 10-0. The offense slows down a bit, however, they make it a very, very convincing lead. I think this is an ad that keeps popping up. When we see this black screen, I think it's an ad. However, I have an ad blocker on, so I think it just gets confused. So, don't want to jinx anything. I'm going to say if they blow a 10-run lead, it's not my fault. I've had bad luck before in which I tweeted about Mercer being up 7 and going to the semifinals when they were in the quarterfinals. They were up 7 in the bottom of the 8th and they ended up losing. So, I've had bad luck. But I would say it looks like we're going to get a game 3. We'll see what time that game is scheduled for. I don't believe there's a time on it yet. It will, of course, be in Athens. Will, of course, be tomorrow. But I don't know if we know what time it will be. Collins is at first base. Chadwick's in right field. That's what I said would happen. Woo! We got one right. So Chadwick coming on as a pinch runner for Jordan. Just gets moved to right field. Collins will play first. We'll see how the defense at first is affected. Shouldn't matter too much, but Collins is the worst fielder in this team, on this team, that gets regular starts. That's why they usually stick him in right field or at first base. Luckily, those positions you can kind of get away with. So, shouldn't matter too much as we are in the bottom of the 7th. Just finished the 7th inning stretch. We didn't really do anything for that on stream. Kind of just realized. As it is Finley out again to start the bottom of the 7th. What an outing from him. If he can record one out, this will be his longest outing. He's gone 6 innings before. I actually don't think he's gone 6 innings plus. So this is already his longest outing, even if he doesn't record now. He's been taken out to start the 7th, but never in a scenario where he's actually appeared in the 7th. That one just misses. He's about to throw his 100th pitch. Where are we in the order? We're at Sosa. I can't think he goes longer than 105 pitches or so. He does get a pop out here. It should be. It is brought in, battling the sun in left field, and that is the first out. So now if he can have a decent at-bat here, you think he has a chance to make it through the 7th. Even if it takes him up to 105 pitches or so to get an out here, if he is able to get an out, you would think Wes Johnson leaves him out there to finish the 7th. Luke Nixon up to bat. Takes strike 1 looking. And after that changeup, this pitch will be his 100th. It's the ball down low, and he is now in triple digits. Good frame from Gonzalez, even though that one was in the dirt. Made it look like it was competitive. I'm surprised Gonzalez is still in after that minor wrist injury. Thought that would have been the day for him. This one lined back up the gap. In the shift, it's able to find its way through, and that is a single. So now I would expect Finley's day to be done. So we'll see what the ruling is here, as we'll see what's going through Wes Johnson's mind. They haven't shown on the stream the bullpen working, so that would be my one concern. And they're going to let Finley go. I don't know about this, but I mean, obviously you're just trying to preserve your bullpen, but you also want Finley to feel confident going into the World Series. Here is a single. It finds its way into the gap. It's cut off before it hits the wall, but now it is first and third with 1 out. And now, I mean, I thought Finley's day would be done after the single. And now after back-to-back singles, we'll see what the thought is here. I hear a lot of clapping. And here is Wes Johnson. He's decided his day is done. I mean, he hasn't made the call to the bullpen yet, but I assume his day is done. That's really the only reason Wes Johnson would be out there. And the cheers increase. And instead of pulling him, Wes Johnson just out there for a pep talk as Finley remains in the game. That is unbelievable. The amount of faith he has.
This point looks like it could be in the bag for Georgia. Now the question is, how many arms can you save for tomorrow?
So you don't want to hurt Finley by throwing him too long. But also, you want all the arms available for tomorrow. So Finley, if he can somehow get out of this, would save an arm. Ooh, he got a chopper. A rollover, however, it goes foul. That was exactly what he needed. As you can see on that foul ball, that was a rollover towards the first base side, but just rolled foul.
One of their back-end guys can play well tomorrow.
Zeldin is back up in the bullpen. He was up in the second inning. So 5 innings later, he's back up. Here, this one, a hard shot, a chance at the double play. To short, back to first, not in time. NC State scores their first run as the double play can't be converted. They got the runner on a force at second. However, could not get it back to time in first, and that is the first run of the game for the Wolfpack. Branch couldn't get it over quick enough. Collins with a good stretch. And just safe. Hustling down the line of souls. Alford at second has to be a little bit better about that. As that one rolled to him, he has to put a little bit more mustard on the throw to Branch. That was the 105th pitch of the day for Finley. As he's looking to get Serrano out and probably give relief in the 8th inning, the top of the order. Pop up off the hands, goes foul. So that was his matching his pitch total, highest pitch total on the season. He's pitched 106 pitches before. So that just matched it. The 1-1. This one a grounder. This one will get through as the shift was on. Bobbled by Chadwick. That'll allow the runner to advance to third. And the corner outfield spot's just depressing. As there's 2 down. My mistake on not adding that out. But again, runners at the corners. And they should be at first and second. But Chadwick will get assist in error as just a horrible bobble. Jeez. So after that hit, Finley's day will certainly be done as Wes Johnson, comes out. And he'll get the ball from Finley. He wanted him to finish 7, but with the top of the order now back up, it only makes sense to go to the bullpen. And what a day from Finley. Allows 1 run. Was half a second away from allowing no runs as the double play was almost turned, but that will be the end of his day. It'll be Zeldin.
One of the keys to this game was Leighton Finley and stacking some zeros early to give his offense a chance.
Finley will walk off the mound to much applause.
Each offense has exploded. It's been the starting pitching. It's been a pivotal point. It was Sam Highfield yesterday for NC State. Leighton Finley today for Georgia.
And with Finley's performance, these teams kind of back even for Game 3. Although NC State has done a great job of only using 2 arms today. The Bulldogs have brought across 10 runs, and yet NC State has, through 7 innings, only used 2 arms. So their bullpen is still well rested. as this game starts to kind of drag along. We were moving quite fast. A 2:30 start time for Clemson, Florida. About to kick off underway. I just was wondering, No, they don't. I was wondering if the NCAA did a strike zone. Maybe they do. Maybe we just have to wait a second. There's a couple better places to get strike zone information, but ESPN is the most convenient, even if it's wrong 90% of the time. I want to thank everyone for watching today as we're in the middle of a break as Finley just finished his excellent day. It's been a good stream. Decent amount of viewers and a lot of fun as the Bulldogs are up big as they look to force Game 3, and that's seemingly all but inevitable at this point. If you're watching the stream and you want to have a conversation, feel free to leave a comment as we're back from break, so you'd assume Zeldin has finished his warm-ups. The senior, never been too impressed with his stuff, and I would assume neither of the Bulldogs. That's kind of why he's brought in situations like these where he can just hold over. It is his 22nd appearance on the season, 51 innings almost to a 5.68 ERA. Just doesn't have that great stuff that you really get from a top-level reliever arm, but will be the perfect man in this scenario to finish off this game, hopefully. Strike one, his fastball is his best pitch, and it goes for a strike there. In my opinion, it's his best pitch.
He was a really good pitcher at Penn. Got a win and a save in a series at 8th-ranked Bama last year, and then pitched into the regional final at Auburn.
Gets a pop-up on the second pitch. This should end the inning. Collins camping under it. We'll bring it in for the third out. So good job from Zeldin to come in, get a 2-pitch out, and we'll go to the top of the 8th. Only part about that, why baseball stinks sometimes, is now we just got a break, and we just go to break yet again. So that does kind of stink. Let me back out of this. And this game should get started soon here. Clemson in Florida. We'll keep an eye on it. Although it doesn't super matter for Georgia. The Braves have just scored on a Michael Harris single to left. Duvall scored. Darno in scoring position. And, of course, the reason today's Braves game is huge for Braves fans and not is Hurston Waldrop is getting his first start in the major leagues today. And he was, of course, a big part of the NCAA baseball playoffs last year in the World Series. And today he gets his first look at MLB time. He was, of course, the first pick from the Braves last year. So he's made a quick run to the major leagues. As his first inning, no strikeouts, but 1 walk. However, of course, no hits and no runs. So that will play for him as the Braves have loaded the bases. Hurston Waldrop's a guy I never got to see play live because I live near, my hometown is near the Gwinnett Stripers Stadium, the AAA affiliate of the Braves, and he only made 2 starts up there. So I'd like to see him after this game as we've gotten an insight into Florida Clemson. Of course, scheduled for a 2:30 start, but in typical ESPN fashion, won't get started until about 2:40. Here, back at Foley Field, at least spiritually, Corey Collins up to bat in the top of the order. He has had an okay day, but not a great day, especially for his standards, as he takes strike 1. As yet again, it's Marone. So the Wolfpack sticking with 2 pitchers this entire game. Corey Collins, a great swing here. This one's out of here. improves his day. Was saying not a great day for him. Now it is, as that solo shot gets out of here quickly. And it is now back to a 10-run advantage. His 20th of the season. Felt like that was coming to get today. Felt like it was coming earlier. Finally gets its way across, as it is now 11-1. 110 off the bat. A hard liner. That one only went 350, as it was right down the right field line. That one similar to the home run earlier. This one to the other side, of course, with different-handed batters, and at 110 off the bat, gets out in a hurry. So, Bulldogs back up to double-digit. Yeah, small launch angle. They just said 19 degrees. And it looks like that is the end of Marone's day. So he tried to come out for the top of the 8th. Wolfpack tried to stick with him through the 8th. Or maybe just like the matchup against Corey Collins. Whatever it was, didn't work out to their advantage. And we'll have a pitching change. And yet again, another pause. As Charlie Condon, of course, would be the next batter. I mean, much respect to Marone. Marone, excellent day for him. He came in a game they weren't going to win. He came in a jam in which they still would have been in the game. That was his downfall, his bases loaded jam. And while only one run was charged to him that inning, he did allow all those runs to score in relief. Of course, again, not charged to him, but that was the downfall. You can't really blame him for that. But what was his final line? 4 innings for 4 earned runs in a game you kind of knew you weren't going to win. It's not bad. And you save your bullpen for tomorrow, which is the most important thing. So, not the outing he was expecting, but good performance. So the broadcast actually doesn't go to break while the new pitcher warms up. Leighton Finley's final line, 6 2/3, 8 hits, 1 run. Great line from him. Only 5 strikeouts, but lots of weak contact. Holy. Hollis Fanning, right-handed pitcher. This guy looks like a skyscraper. They just said 6'8", an ERA of 8. So, both his height and his ERA, very high. But he'll likely finish his game out if he can. 15 appearances, 16 innings pitched, so not usually an extended arm, but in a situation like this, game's over essentially. Even if he gets rocked, maybe just let him finish the game to save your better arms. No offense to him. This is apparently the first season in Georgia's history with 2 20-plus home run hitters, as that was Collins' 20th. And, of course, this man up to bat, the one with the most home runs in the entire NCAA with 36, as he sees strike one. He's had quite a quiet day as well. Not your typical performance, which I've talked about is kind of a problem. Not a problem yet, but you really need your greats to show up in the postseason. Here, another hard grounder to third, and it will be yet another out. He has crushed balls down that third base line and not been rewarded. Great play by the third baseman, diving play. Wow. I want to know how hard that one came off the bat. Of course, Condon's last time up hit a 113-mile-per-hour line out to third. That one, a ground ball, but was likely around 105. maybe higher.
He's in high school. His dad were out doing some farm work, flipping some fence wires. Wasn't wearing
Well, yeah, Condon needs to start really showing up for this team. Has been good. As this one's chopped up the middle, this will be another ground out. Actually, a bad throw, but a good pick over at first. That was dangerous, but still an out. But Condon really needs to start showing up a bit more.
The challenges that individuals face that you may not be aware of.
Especially when we're seeing Game 3 tomorrow and what is another winner go home. Luckily, his
Tennessee, one of the number one teams
other teammates have shown up excellently today.
in North Carolina State.
But Condon needs to start contributing a bit more. He's been good. Again, I just don't want this to be perceived as crazy. He's been good, but hasn't been the Condon we saw during the regular season, which is why I worry just a bit.
You want to get to a point where when it's going bad mechanically, you can kind of feel what you're doing wrong. You can step off the back of the rubber and kind of think, okay, this
Good job from Fanning so far to come out and get 2 groundouts to help his team and
whack over the top of the rubber.
prepare for Game 3. Here, though, this is going to be a double down the line. About 6 inches fair. It'll find its way all the way to the corner. However, since it's down the left field line, no chance at a triple. As that, of course, is down the third base line. So that will simply be a double and a 2-out double to stand in scoring position for Totes. He's turned around his day. He started 0 for 3 and then on defense had an error, which ended up being a 2-base error. Since then, 2 for 2 with the double. That double you just saw, and of course a home run the at-bat before.
Best offenses in the game this year.
Georgia had 4 hits yesterday. They have 8 extra base hits today, 4 doubles and 4 home runs.
In the box, batting is Phelps. He's had an excellent day, of course, as well, with a big home run. That was the main thing. Also, hit by pitch with the bases loaded. Drove a run in. This one, a chopper to short. Should be an easy play, and it is. And NC State, after the Corey Collins home run, is able to get the Dogs to go a little bit more quiet. It is back to a 10-run lead, but we head to the bottom of the 8th, and the only reason it's a little scary for me on the Bulldogs side, of course, is that the bullpen for NC State really hasn't been run dry, which is your hopes when you have a double-digit lead like this, is that you can really affect that bullpen and get deep into it. However, that was just the 3rd Wolfpack pitcher we saw, and he will likely come out for the 9th. And really not too troubled. I mean, if you give up home run shots, it's whatever in a game like this. Just can't have consistent damage, and right now NC State has done a good job at doing that. Of course, in Game 1 yesterday, NC State was just chipping away at Georgia, runs every innings, 4-run innings seemingly all the time, and that means you have to go to the bullpen over and over and over again. That's why Georgia's bullpen is depleted. Luckily, with a day like today, they'll be back strong for tomorrow, but that's what you were hoping to do to NC State today, and really you haven't done it despite the huge lead. NC State is only used 3 pitchers. So these teams will be pretty evenly matched up going into Game 3 in what I would guess is going to be a grudge match. I don't think we'll see what we saw yesterday or today. A bit more competitive. And you're going to be interested in who comes out as the pitchers for both these teams because, of course, we saw a bad day from Smith for Georgia yesterday. However, he only threw 35 pitches. So is there a chance he pitches tomorrow? Maybe. Unlikely, but maybe in a relief role. And of course, in a tournament like this, with a chance at the World Series on the line, you'll do whatever you can, even if it's not typical. Big curveball from Zeldin and fouled off the foot. That one hurt.
Rebich fouls off the first. He's over 3, bouncing a double play.
Boom, 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 boom. Shout out to Brett Stevens. Good colleague and buddy who commentates for Georgia in the capacity of PA announcer at the game. I think he's public announcing right now, so.
Students have their prime spot.
Got the sultry voice of a public announcer as this one's bounced to the second baseman. Throw on over in time. And now Georgia 5 outs away from ending this one. Of course, with game 2, the visiting team gets to act as the home team, so they get to bat last. That's why we're in the bottom of the 8th, so they will still have the bottom of the 9th. As Cozart will come up. 1 for 2 with a walk.
Feels like 08. Okay.
I love his stance. It's super open. Then as he steps and loads, comes closed. Something I really like to do is Zeldin just missed there. Didn't like that call. Thought it was a strike on the fastball.
Kind of thought maybe at this point of the game, State might go to the bench a little bit. Some guys a breather.
Foul ball. Interesting, the announcers are talking about going to the bench. I really thought it would have happened sooner. As in, I'm surprised both these teams haven't
Outside of a comeback for instance,
dipped into the bench
tomorrow, we won't know game time for quite some time. Right? We'll see.
heavily.
It's the first game of the day. How the others are.
Oh, that's gone. That is a no-doubter off the top of the scoreboard in right field.
Easy swing for his 19th home run.
Cozart home run makes it 11-2. That one was crushed. No doubter. Sounded good, looked good. 380 feet to right field.
104 off the bat, 380 feet it traveled quickly.
Back to a single-digit game.
In 2 games for him. Well, he goes up top shelf too. I don't even know that's even a strike. That's right above the top.
That fastball at the numbers on the front of the jersey, so they sit right below heart level. He went up on that fastball, got it, and got all of it.
First pitch strike to Brandon Butterworth.
Wow. That's one way to kind of silence a team that is dominating you. It's just a loud, loud shot. So looking forward to tomorrow, game 3 for the Bulldogs. Win or go home yet again for both teams, though, this time. Today, of course, the Bulldogs have to win. But tomorrow, whatever team loses, they'll be sitting on the couch for the rest of the postseason. Let's go check in as this at-bat gets underway. Of course, 1 and 2 on Clemson, Florida. Right now, bottom of the first. Nothing major. Although I expect Florida to win this game. And kind of just sweep Clemson out of here, who of course is the higher seed, but got some friends at Clemson, but sorry to them, I don't think that will work out for them as this is a fly out to center field. Faxon Childress is one of them, went to high school with him, North Gwinnett High School. He does a lot of commentating over at Clemson and a lot of sports talk. And as we just click away, Florida has just hit a 2-run home run. Was it Caglioni? Of course it was Caglioni. Like, come on. How are you going to pitch to him? Caglioni, equivalent to many fans with Charlie Condon this season. As that was ball 1. Charlie Condon has had an excellent season, but Caglioni, of course, pitches and bats, and he's likely the 3rd best batter in all of college baseball, as that was strike 1. And, of course, has the pitching aspect. He's not a great pitcher. He's a good pitcher. He's a very solid bordering on that great line. And, you know, as someone that can do both, that gives you kind of an advantage. And right now he's given Florida the 2-0 lead. Georgia crowd at Foley Field getting into it. It's kind of emptied a bit. A hot day. So when a 10-run lead was grabbed, you can understand a couple people leaving. The 1-2 to end the inning is bounced in there. We'll see at least one more pitch. This seems a mistake that Clemson has kept pitching to Caglione. I believe that is his second home run. Of course, the Florida Gators won 10-7 yesterday, and I believe Caglione hit a 2-run shot. That should have been strike 3. However, there'll be a full count now for Zeldin and the Dogs as the Wolfpack look to try and make this one closer. 415 average, 529 on base. That ain't bad. And of course, he is pitching today, so one of the best players in college baseball. That is strike 3 looking. The Dogs and Zeldin get a strikeout to end the inning, and we'll go to the top of the ninth. Jack Caglione is so good, and I love Charlie Condon, but man, that guy's nasty, especially if he can pitch well and get the win today. Thanks, Butterfly Dog 3016. I appreciate it. As we head to the 9th inning, this should be hopefully it for the game, the last inning, unless we see a meltdown of all meltdowns. You can see that Caglione will be back on the mound as the first just ended. And when we come back to this game, Chadwick will be the batter for the Dogs. So it's time to start looking ahead again. Of course, Georgia on the right side of the bracket will play the winner of Kentucky and Oregon State. Kentucky won yesterday. They won 10-0 over Oregon State. Couldn't remember the exact score, but it was 10-0. Let's see if we can see. They play at 9 p.m. So if you're a Georgia fan, you're likely going to be watching baseball from noon to 9. Noon to, we're looking at like 3:20 here. They're showing the Jack Caglione home run. That is ridiculous that he got that ball out. Curveball ball in the zone, caught it on the top of the bat, went down to get it, and it somehow went over the batter's eye. His 33rd of the season. Just his effortless power stuns me a lot. But yeah, you'll likely be watching baseball if you're a Georgia fan from noon to what's looking like 3:15, 3:20. And then you get a bit of a break and you got to tune back in right at 9 p.m. to watch this game. Start of this inning, hard liner back up the middle, and the Dogs get a runner on to start it. 1 pitch, 1 single. Yeah, it's Chadwick. That was his first at bat after coming on as a pinch runner. Other side of the bracket, whoever wins in the Clemson-Florida series, of course Florida's up, gets to face Texas A&M and Oregon. And right now, Texas A&M, of course, leading, one of the best teams in college baseball. I would almost have Florida coming out of that. And that would mean a possible, looking way ahead, a possible Georgia-Florida matchup. That's looking way, way ahead. Of course, they're on the same side of the bracket, those 8 teams, and Florida is on that side of the bracket. So it's possible, but Georgia would also have to get past Kentucky or Oregon State after beating NC State in Game 3. So lots of ifs, but that would be fun. Strike 2 on Carter. could be very, very fun if it happens. And I'm rooting for it, and I think there is a good possibility it does. However, you got to stay composed and try and just win this series. Which I honestly thought NC State had a little bit of an advantage, even as a Georgia fan, going into this series. So, after today, I think Georgia has the series right in the hot hand. A bit better of a bullpen, as that one ball, too, just inside, almost hit Carter. The 2-2. Check on first on Chadwick. He dives back in safe. Apparently ball 3 is coming in. I haven't seen it yet, but that will give us a full count. Ooh, check back at first on the back pick from Cozart. After that ball was way inside. I'm not sure how he even got an accurate throw off, and that one didn't end up in right field. Interesting. And we'll have a full count here. Georgia, I'm sure, would like to chase Fanning out of this game and maybe see one more arm. That's the goal right now, not really to add insurance. A short chopper to third. Carter with his speed, still out by a step. However, the runner is able to get to second. So Clayton Chadwick stands at second. Good fielding there from the third baseman who's had an excellent day for the Wolfpack. And it looks like we might get a pitching change. There's going to be a meeting on the mound. That does look like head coach. Interesting. I thought Fanning wouldn't be taken out unless it got bad. However, this does look like a change. Yep, there's the call to the bullpen. So interestingly enough, the Wolfpack will go to Carson Kelly. Interesting they use one more arm than perhaps needed. As the stream will go to break. Not too sure about that decision. However, we mentioned that when Fanning came out, just 16 innings on 15 appearances. So it's not like we expected a long relief from him, but 2 more outs is 2 more outs. As they're in the bottom of the order too. It's Gonzalez due up, and then of course starting to wrap around to the top of the order. Looking back at Clemson, Florida, let's see how pitcher Caglione is doing. He gets out of the second. It looked like there was a hit, a double to left center. However, after pitcher unassisted out, he gets 2 strikeouts. So Jack Caglione doing literally everything for Florida, which is not out of the ordinary. He has a 2-run shot and 2 strikeouts and 2 perfect innings. Not perfect, but 2 clean innings. What a talent. Shohei Ohtani of the NCAA. Go Dogs. As we will see a Game 3 tomorrow at some point, it's looking like. Now they're just prolonging this game. Been streaming now for over 3 hours. As we still got 5 outs to go. I'm running out of words, which for me is hard. I'm a professional yapper, but the words are starting to come harder and harder and less. So we'll see how that goes. Another insight into Florida Clemson. It's Jack Caglione fielding his own position. Ooh. That's why there was a little bit of steam on that one. That's why we're getting the highlight. After he fielded his own position, instead of running to first, it was kind of a check swing hit. He placed the tag on the runner, and he and the Clemson Tiger runner collided, and the Clemson dugout actually came out. The whole dugout, as Caglione was at fault there. It seemingly an easy tag, just tag him and be done. He did push him. And I'm giving my opinion, but that was on Jack Caglione and quite an unsportsmanlike play from him. We'll see if we can pull up that. I don't think we're going to be able to. Might be able to do it on ESPN. Let's see if we can do it. I don't want to show anything weird. There's the home run. They haven't shown the collision yet. We'll keep an eye out. That would be fun to watch. Although ESPN is known to be a little lackluster. And how did we go back to? Did you guys see that? It said 5-0. It took us back to the third inning. All right, so new pitcher is Kelly. After all that yapping and randomness, the runner is picked off. It was Chadwick. Chadwick is now in a rundown. Chadwick will continue the rundown. He's making this more difficult for the Wolfpack than it needs to be, and now he is out. And yet again, the corner outfield spots not showing their worth defensively or in the lineup. As Chadwick, just a boneheaded play. I'd love to see how that one's written down on the score sheet, because I think it was 6-5, 2-3, something. There was at least 6 throws in there, so good pickle. But don't know why Chadwick is that far off the bag in a 9-run game. Just pure idiocy. Not going to sugarcoat it after I've been very disappointed in him and some of the other positions today. Here a pop out, and that ends the top of the 9th. So maybe being a bit mean, but that is the end of the inning. And NC State has 3 outs to try and get 9 runs. We've seen crazier. We'll see if it happens here. Let's go back and see if we got this highlight yet. Man, why is ESPN so stupid? I love ESPN. I mean, I do some work for them, but they could definitely improve their webpage, I will say. Don't look at my Google tab. Stop looking. Gonna go on Twitter and see if we can find the Jack Caglione scuffle. You're going to want to ignore the scoreboard as it's about to go crazy, including it saying we're in the 10th inning. I have the scoreboard set up to hotkeys, so anytime I actually type on my keyboard. Faxon Childress, who I mentioned earlier, went to high school with him, does a lot of stuff at Clemson, just said that Clemson needs to give Caglione the Barry Bonds treatment, which I would agree with. As I've mentioned, he's just absolutely destroyed them on all fronts. Let's see. We got a phone recording of it. Let's go ahead and do that. So we'll just look at this, just because I'm essentially bored at this point. We'll make it full screen. There you guys can see it. So this is the play. Caglione fields the ball. And you can see, oh, that might be on the Tiger. I see the push here now. Yeah, the shove there. And then I thought Caglione initiates it by doing that. But there is definitely a shove from the Tiger. So I take back what I said. I think that's on Clemson. That's unsportsmanlike from Clemson. Does Caglione need to go back and get his own there? No. But is every player going to go back and get their own? Yes. No player is going to let that slide. So that does happen. As we're in the bottom of the 9th here, looks like there was a catching change for the Dogs. I can't tell yet, but they were zooming in on that. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Hunter in at catcher. That looks like the only change. So Dogs staying mostly straight up.
Based on what they've done throughout the season. But NC State's really good. Not so much today.
I like the NBA comment in the chat, Kevin Jr. I do. I do expect the Hawks to draft him at 1. That is, I want them to be a little bit more competitive and trade the pick, and I think there's a couple workarounds. However, I do think Sarr is the best player and best fit for the Hawks in this draft. So yes, now that's what I expect them to do. They are very much like the Falcons in all Atlanta franchises, and the Hawks are worse at it. 4-pitch walk, by the way, that they are so horribly run. It wouldn't expect me if they do something way out of left field. So I think it should be Sarr at 1. Will it be? I don't know. I'd like to see some sort of package where, with number 1, where you get another star, start to make things work. I mean, obviously, like, crazy world, but do something with 1. Maybe DeJounte Murray in 1. Get a superstar that fits alongside. Capella gone. Start Okongwu. Get another center. Something like you have so many pieces that you can certainly work around and build a team. And then I think you can absolutely sign LeBron, draft Bronny. That's a crazy outcome, but LeBron and Trae Young would be fun. But I don't think any of that will happen. I think it's probably Sarr at 1. And if not, it's an absolute mismanagement. I just think this team the Hawks have a lot of promise, and they're not going to tap into it, especially in the trade market. Here's a pop-up. This is going to go out of play. But I think the Hawks have a lot of ability to trade or do something, and I don't think they're going to take advantage of any of it. I love Trae. I'm one of the Trae truthers. Like, I think he should spend perhaps his whole career in Atlanta. You don't want to project, 10, 15 years out. Not 15, but jammed him, and that will be a double play. A hit and run was on, jammed right back to Zelton at pitcher, and that will be a double play. And now the Dogs went out away from a win. But I think the Hawks just have so much promise, and they're not going to do anything with it, unfortunately. I think Trae's really good. If anyone has to go, I'd say DeJounte, just because the experiment didn't work. I love DeJounte. But I think you could trade DeJounte in the first and get a real big superstar. I don't think it would happen because the Celtics are going to win the World Series. Too many games going on right now. They're going to win the finals, but if you could get DeJounte in a first for something like, it's not going to happen again, something like Kristaps and Jaylen Brown. I think Murray's better. That might be biased. I think DeJounte Murray's better than Jaylen Brown, so that's like a downward trade. And Kristaps is, that's not going to happen, but that would be like the ideal trade package. Pop up into right field. That ends the game as Chadwick brings it in, and we will see Game 3 tomorrow as the Dogs have won 11-2 in Game 2, a must-win game that they did win. And we will see what time the game is tomorrow. Probably late tonight. I wouldn't expect we get a game time announced until that Kentucky-Oregon State game finishes. Because, of course, those might all be Game 3s as well. Everything else in the slate today. So you have to kind of see how that plays out. So we'll have to wait a long time to see how that works out. But the Bulldogs have won. And we'll see you when the time comes in, as Game 3 tomorrow is certainly set. So I've been streaming for 3 hours and 11 minutes. So I'm just about done. I know there's not too many concurrent viewers. We kind of peaked a bit earlier. But if there's any last questions or anything, any last comments or talks that we want to have, I will entertain a last couple, and then I'm going to hop off. We'll see if we'll do this again tomorrow. I would guess no, because this was a lot, and doing it back-to-back days might be a lot. But I think we just dropped a little bit on the stream, so I apologize if there was a bit of lag. But I'll hold out for 1 or 2 more minutes, and then we'll call it. Dogs win 11-2. Great outing. Got to do it again tomorrow is the big thing. All right. I don't see any concurrent viewers, so if anyone comes back and watches this stream, it should be posted on the channel. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all of you. I have been Joe Copshow. This has been Peach State Sports. Hopefully we'll do another live stream again, and I hope to get out a video sometime soon. Everything's been crazy. If you really look at the time commitment, the stream actually takes much less time than a video does. So that's why I kind of did it in a month when I've been lacking content. But I want to thank everyone for watching and always watching. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for watching this stream. Adios.
We could have built that house in Maine. We could have been something, something.